After nearly 2 years of being at home, Americans are finally traveling to see family and friends for the holidays. If you haven't traveled by air for a while, you may be surprised by some of the changes at the airport. So today in the studio, we welcome Brad Betcher, the Director of Marketing and Air Service Department at the Roanoke Blacksburg Regional Airport, to help us make traveling easier. Good morning.
Good morning, Kiana.
It's good to see you in the flesh.
Good to see you as well. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right. So folks are taking off once again, which is exciting news for many people because, let's face it, many have been staying at home. Right. But this holiday season, they're taking to the air. So how has passenger traffic recovered from the pandemic?
Yeah, so right now we've recovered probably about 85% of our overall traffic. Getting there, Thanksgiving travel, we were at about 90% of 2019 levels, which was great, especially since we don't have all of our capacity yet back. We're still down about 20%. So the flights are running full. And then this holiday season for Christmas, we're off to a great start right now. We're running again right about 90%, 95% depending on the day of the week.
Wow. All right. That's great news. Now, if someone hasn't flown since, say, the pandemic started, what's different about it, say, now versus before the pandemic?
Yeah, the big thing is the mask mandate that's in effect through March 18th right now. So that's been extended a couple of times, but you have to wear a mask entering the airport and keep it on through the duration of your flight. I would say one of the other things that has changed is a lot of restaurants and airports are closed or have limited service offerings. We're very fortunate that our retailer and our restaurant pre-security have reopened for the holiday season, so food will be available there. But if you're taking a longer trip, it's really important to pack some snacks. Even if restaurants and hub airports are open, the lines are longer and you might not have enough time to grab something to eat. So
good point. And that mask requirement is for everyone, regardless if you're vaccinated or not.
Exactly. It's for everyone. Even if you're picking somebody up in the airport, remember your mask. If you don't have one, carriers will have them, as well as we have them at the information desk. So, but that's very important.
Sure. Now, is there anything in particular that's different this holiday season that passengers should expect? Say if they've flown a couple months ago, has anything changed since a few months ago?
Not in the last couple of months. I think the one thing to really be cognizant of is that the flights are going to be really full. The airlines reduced so much capacity in the pandemic. They retired a bunch of fleets, and there just aren't enough planes to accommodate all the traffic that's going to be there. So definitely pack that extra patience. One thing to keep in mind is the TSA has changed the 3.3 liquid requirement for hand sanitizer. Only you can take up to 12 ounces through the checkpoint. So, mask and hand sanitizer are going to be key components in keeping people safe.
Great. Okay. Good to keep in mind. All right. And then I say this all the time. I love our regional airport. Love it. It's convenient. It's easy to navigate. What are some advantages of flying Roanoke Regional Airport, Roanoke Blacksburg Regional Airport?
Well, I think you nailed most of them, but the security lines are going to tend to be much shorter. You don't have to factor in, is there going to be an accident on I-81 if I'm driving out of market to another airport? When you get back from your trip, you grab your bag and you're going to be you're home basically. Yeah. So there's that, and it's important to use that service because the pandemic, we had a bunch of service reduced. We've got our New York flight back, which is fantastic. We're getting capacity back. We're still down about 15% versus pre-pandemic levels. But carriers are starting to notice that people are using the airport, and with that support, we're getting more capacity back in. So we'll see more come back in January and February.
Yeah, and I don't hear folks talk about this too much, but I love the price of parking. So reasonable. Now don't take that and decide to go up because I said that. But it's so true. The parking is such a reasonable price point. You compare that to other airports.
Yeah, so we have to generate all our own operating revenue, and parking is the largest contributor to our operating budget. Yeah. So we do have to charge for that. One thing we did at the start of the pandemic is we dropped all of the lots down to the long-term rate. So short-term wasn't 16 anymore, it was down to 9, and it's still at that point. We're trying to make everything as easy as possible for people to use and support the airport. So yeah, $9 a day is not bad.
It's very reasonable, extremely reasonable. Well, I will just want to emphasize the importance of flying local. If you had to give one major reason why it's important to fly local, what would that be?
Economic development. In the short bit, if we're trying to get more capacity into the market, that way we can bring people in as tourists. Businesses here can get out and connect to the rest of the world. and take advantage of that. So yeah, we look at ourselves very much as a source of economic development for the region and helping people get out and get where they need to be. You know, even with the Omicron variant, people are still out traveling, and we're doing everything we can in the facility to keep people safe.
Yeah, well, you guys have done a fantastic job in keeping folks safe. So if you're thinking about taking to the friendly skies this holiday season, there you go. Lots of great tips to keep in mind. And I do appreciate all the safety precautions you guys have taken to make sure that everyone's getting to their destination safely.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, it's good to see you, Brad.
Great
Thank
to
you
see
so
you as
much.
well, Kiana.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right.